I really missed teaching. I really missed working with kids. And I just really needed a creative outlet. Being able to do the craft club, I could do it on my own terms. I could set my own schedule, have my family involved. So it was the perfect fit.
Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from the Creative Crafting Club team, and today I have Kayla with me. Welcome, Kayla.
Hi.
Hi. So first of all, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your family, your background?
Sure. So I live in the United States. I'm in Northeast Ohio, and I am a mom of two little girls. I've got a very sassy 3-year-old and then a sweet little 5-month-old. So before that, I used to be an elementary teacher. And just after a few years of teaching, I was burned out, wanted to start a family. So I made a huge pivot and I started working an office job just to have less stress and more flexibility with like raising my family. And I really missed teaching. I really missed working with kids. And I just really needed a creative outlet. That was the biggest thing is I just needed to do something creative. And the being able to do the craft club, I could do it on my own terms. I could set my own schedule, have my family involved. So it was the perfect fit.
Wow. So you actually manage your club and you have two little ones at home.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I apparently don't like to have any free time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's doing the club is so much fun. So it really doesn't even feel like work. And I get to involve my oldest, especially my 3-year-old is involved in it a lot. So it's great.
So what was it about teaching that made you feel burned out? What would you say made you feel like you burned out by the end of it?
It was a lot of different things. Definitely just the amount of work that I would put into it outside of teaching hours, just with like lesson planning and communicating with families and preparing my lessons and things like that. It was just a lot. It was hard for me to see how I could, maintain all of that while also starting a family. So that was definitely one of the biggest things. I was worried about just balancing it all.
And now that you have your club, can you talk me through how much sort of prep work you have to do for that?
So I use a lot of the lessons from the Creative Crafting Club, which has been so helpful. I always start there first with my lesson plans, which save a lot of time. My daughter is home with me and she can always help me with, making those like little example projects and things. So it's definitely much more manageable now.
And now you have a fun activity for your daughter to do with you.
Yes, exactly.
It's perfect.
Yeah, joining CCC as both a former teacher and a mom has just been honestly the perfect fit and exactly what I needed, at a time where I didn't know exactly where I was going to go with my career. And the CCC definitely helped guide me and, keep me on track of where I needed to go with my club and be able to turn it into something that is just a viable option for my family and something that I love to do, something that is a lot of fun and doesn't feel like work. So it's just really it was the perfect fit. It was exactly what I needed.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. What was your biggest challenge before opening your club?
Definitely confidence. The imposter syndrome was so real. I didn't know anything about the whole like business aspect of everything, of how to go about any of that. And I was just afraid to put myself out there. But then I came across the Creative Crafting Club and I just knew that was the perfect fit.
Where did you see it? Do you remember? Was it on Instagram or?
I think it was Facebook. I think I saw it on Facebook. I know I followed it for a while and without doing anything. And then I did one of the, like the intro, like workshop thing.
Yeah. Okay. And then not long after joining, you entered our CCC for Life competition.
Mm-hmm.
And you won.
I did, yeah.
How did that feel?
Well, I mean, again, I guess going back to the confidence, that really was a great boost to my confidence. And that happened right before right before I went on maternity leave with my daughter. So after having won the competition, I was like, well, I've got to do this now. I guess I'm in.
Yeah, now you're stuck for life.
Exactly. Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of this journey so far?
So a lot of things, but definitely the biggest is just being able to involve my daughter. She was there from the very beginning when I started doing the classes in my home. She was at every single one. And it's just also made me go outside my comfort zone a lot, which has been great for me, being able to put my name out there in the community and meeting new families and students, especially now since teaching at the kids gym has really forced me to do that, which has been a great thing. The issue with doing it at my house is I have limited space and can only have classes that are so big. But when I have classes at other places, I can definitely have larger classes and more students join. So I'm now teaching classes outside. Right now I do weekly classes at a local kids gym. And I've teamed up with one of my friends who is also a former teacher, and she does music and movement classes for kids. So we've started doing like special events for families where she will do like a little mini music and movement class first, and then I'll have some art, science, and sensory PlayStation set up. And so just us being able to work together has been a great thing for being able to get our names out there in the community and meet new families. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, amazing. Would you mind telling us the process of getting your classes up and running at the kids' gym? How did you reach out to them and how did that collaboration happen?
I would just take lots of pictures and post on social media and try to get gain some attention that way. And this kids gym that is in the area is recently new as well. They've been around for less than a year. And so we were just following each other on social media. And I had reached out, mentioning that I would love to eventually be teaching these classes at different places. And they wanted me on board right away. I started classes at the kids gym and doing it every week since then.
Amazing. That's such a good idea to collaborate with another, you're not really in competition, you're
Mhm.
serving the same people.
Yeah.
That's, oh, brilliant. Would
Yeah.
you say that most of your customers come from word of mouth or social media or collaborations? What do you think is the main contributing factor?
Um, it's definitely a combination of them all. When I first started in my home, it was all just word of mouth. It was just from people that I knew. And it was also exciting in the beginning when I was doing the classes in my home. People who I hadn't seen or spoken to in years, they kind of came out of the woodwork and were showing interest, which was really cool. And now that I'm at the kids gym and doing the special events with the music and movement, it's definitely been a lot more of I think like social media and word of mouth. So, and I'm starting to dip my toes into some of the old school marketing strategies of like putting out flyers and things like that. So I'm hoping that will help to gain some more traction too.
And on those flyers, is there a website link? Is there a QR code? How do they get from there to booking with you?
So for the bookings for the kids gym, which is one of the nice things, they handle all of the bookings. So the bookings is done through their website. So I will direct them to their website, and then also have like my social media information on there as well, because that's where I post all of like the updates of when the classes are and the class schedules and whatnot. So those two things.
Okay, and then tell me about your experience with WebHub. Have people been booking through WebHub?
So I haven't done any bookings through WebHub yet, but I do use WebHub all the time for my email marketing, which has been so nice to have that as an option just already built in there. So I send out my weekly emails and use that for putting my schedule out there and letting people know when classes are, and also using it as a tool to show photos from previous classes to try to get some interest and whatnot.
Okay, cool. And what about with your bookings and payments? Does that happen through WebHub or how do you manage the payments?
So it depends from kind of on place to place. Like the kids gym where I'm at every week, they handle all of the payments and the bookings as well. So we have a sort of a payment agreement set up with them where we each get a certain percentage. And then some of the special events, like I just did one this past weekend with my friend who does the music and movement, and I did use WebHub for sending an invoice through them, and that was again really nice just to have it all in one place and
Mhm.
ready to go. Just input the info and send it on its way.
Do you think that you would be able to get back into, the school where you used to teach? Do you think they would be open to you going over to teach an after school craft club?
I've thought about that. I think that would definitely be an option. I know that doing the after school craft club would be a great option because the students are already there, and don't have to worry about finding a venue and all of that. So that is definitely something I am hoping to do in the future. I've had other people ask me if I would be willing to travel to daycares to teach classes, so that's definitely something I would love to do as well.
How has starting a club changed your life and what has it made possible for you?
So it has definitely given me back a sense of self. Just from when I was growing up, I'd always wanted to be a teacher, and I never saw myself having a job outside of teaching. So when I did leave my job as an elementary teacher, I really struggled in the beginning because I had always identified as, being a teacher. And at that point, I didn't know what I was going to do outside of that. But now being able to run my own craft club and teach in a way that showcases my own strengths and my own passions as a teacher, it's really given me my confidence back, and it's something that I love doing. So, which is great. That helps a lot. It's something that I, truly love doing, and it is a lot of fun. So it doesn't really feel like work most of the time. So, and the best part also is when I am ready to, I guess, retire, so to say, from my office job, I know that I'll be able to use my club as a full time option for a job, and it'll be a viable, option to be able to support my family.
So, for anyone who's watching this thinking, well, of course, Kayla's a success because she's got teaching experience. Now, I don't have teaching experience. How am I going to be able to run a successful club? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say that as long as you have the passion for working with kids and working with people, and just creating or doing crafts and art, you have what it takes to get started, because a lot of especially the resources and the training that's provided by Creative Crafting Club will just help you every step of the way. So if you don't have the teaching experience, it's okay. You'll figure it out as you go, as long as you have that passion and also the resources and tools to help you.
If you're nervous about it, is that something that fades away? Or, yeah, just in your experience with teaching, tell me a little bit about the process of getting used to teaching people.
Yeah, definitely. I think the more that you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, for sure. When I first started with my crafting club, I had started with just friends and family and people that I knew in my home. And at that point, I had been out of the classroom for, I think, maybe almost 4 years. So I did feel a little rusty. And that's why I wanted to start small with people that I knew and people that I was comfortable with. And the more that I did that, the more confidence I was able to gain and flex that teaching muscle again, and get back into the groove.
And then the lessons that you did for your first few classes, they were CCC lessons, right?
Yes.
And did that make you feel more comfortable about what you were teaching?
Yes, it did, because I knew that I had that to fall back on in case I, panicked or blanked out and wasn't sure what to do. I could use that as a tool to definitely help and keep things moving.
You did the crocodiles, hey? I remember seeing pictures of crocodiles.
Yes, yes, I've
Yeah.
done the crocodiles. I've done that one twice now at two different places, and that one's always a favorite. They're so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah, maybe you can tell me what a few of your favorite CCC lessons are if you were going to recommend a few for people to try out.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Almost all of my crafts have been from the CC see curriculum. So some of my favorite lessons from the Creative Crafting Club curriculum is definitely the crafty crocodiles. That one is always a fun crowd pleaser. And we did the chia seed greenhouses. That one was very exciting and lots of fun. And then just a few weeks ago, I did do the what was it called? The jumping bunnies one. That one was pretty fun too, and it was a perfect. I love because my club specifically, I focus on a lot of art and science. So having this STEM integration of all the crafts just aligns really well, and some of those have been huge hits with all of my classes.
Cool. Have you enjoyed being a part of the CCC Facebook community? How has that been for you?
I love seeing what other people do in that group. It is really fun to see how other people will put their own twist on some of the lessons in the curriculum. And I know I need to get in there and share some of the things that I've done recently as well, because it's just so good to get ideas from other people in the group, and feedback as well. Everyone in that group too is so great at, giving feedback and helpful advice.
Yeah. Yeah, we love it. Like there's especially the one that's our giant heart lesson. There's a member called Camille, and she has made it into giant everything. She's done giant pumpkins, giant earth. Someone did a giant turkey.
Actually, that was me. That I did the turkey. Yes, yeah, that was one of them. Yeah,
that's amazing.
I remember seeing all those. Yeah, and then I did just this past weekend there's a lesson in the Creative Crafting Club that is the Santa mask with the paper plate. I did a leprechaun version. So I'll have to post some pictures of that. So we just did a green hat instead of a Santa hat, and we did an orange beard, obviously, instead of the Santa beard. So yeah, you get a lot of great ideas just from seeing how people tweak them and do their own spin on the lessons.
That's so clever.
Yeah.
And I think it's so great to find, because it's a global community, you've got people like, for example, in South Africa, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But we've got so many American members who can give us those Thanksgiving ideas. And then likewise with St. Patrick's Day, it's not celebrated everywhere. That's why we don't really have that many in the curriculum. So to have our members come to us with ideas like this, that's so cool. Yeah, so I think you must definitely share some pictures of those in the group, and because people were asking for ideas for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I know, I do. I love seeing, especially with everybody being all over the world and in different places. It is so cool to see the different things and how other people will do it in different places. I agree.
What advice would you give someone who is thinking of starting their own club?
My biggest advice is to just start. It's okay to, start messy. No one really knows exactly what they're doing in the beginning, but if you just start, it will give you some momentum and build confidence. And then all the scary stuff of dealing with the, businessy side of running a business will be much less scary, and you'll figure it out as you go. And also, starting small. Once I did finally decide to start, I was so excited to just jump in and do all the things. I wanted to do kits and online classes and in-person classes, and just all of the things. And I know it's something that everybody always says is to just, narrow your focus and start small. But there's a lot of truth in that because when you do start small, the only thing that you can do is grow from there. And that's the best way to do it.
That's great advice. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Kayla. It was so awesome chatting to you, and we can't wait to see what's next for you with your club.
Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.